Okay. Here we go. Boom! Monday. Episode 38 of the Nooner. Hey, Ben, thanks for hanging out. We're taking this one last shot. I've got a backup plan on this one, so sorry about the technical difficulty, folks. Welcome to episode 38 of the Nooner. My name is David Bradley. I am your host. Yeah, let's do this is right, Ben DeVolder says. Let's do this. All right, so we're going to be talking about tips for earning trust in sales, business, and in life. More importantly, earning your buyer's trust. How do you know if they trust you or not? Right? That's a big challenge for a lot of people. So this is the Nooner. It's episode 38. Every weekday, Monday through Friday, I'm coming to you live via Meerkat. My name is David Bradley. I'll be your host. I'm dropping noontime nuggets about sales, business, and or life. You've had lunch for your body. You've had lunch for your brain or life. You've had lunch for your body. You've had lunch for your brain. I'm going to give you some lunch for your brain. Okay? So how hard is it to stay motivated as we go into the rest of our day? The week has started off, right? You want to make sure your week starts off right, and at midday you get a little extra juice to keep going and to keep pushing, okay? So who am I? I'm your host. This is the Nooner. My name is David Bradley. I'm a sales and marketing manager with Grant Cardone. I've been doing it for the last almost 5 years. It'll be 5 years in March. I got started with Grant because in 2003 I started following his content, went from barely surviving in sales to thriving in it. And so in 2011 I got an opportunity to give this to other people. And when that showed up, man, I was all in, okay? So a couple other things about me. I'm the author of a book called How to Stop Smoking Without Killing Anyone. If you're looking to kick the habit, you can find out how I did it after multiple attempts to quit. I finally found a way to stop, and I detail that in my book, which you can get at stopdon'tquit.com, or it's also available up on Amazon, How to Stop Smoking Without Killing Anyone. I'm also the founder of a hashtag called Rich Man's Gym. This is home-based strength and conditioning for body, mind, and spirit. I don't believe you have to go to the gym to get in a good workout, and you certainly don't have to go to the gym to get in the best shape of your life. You can do it right from home, right in your garage, right at the local park. That hashtag is a book in progress where I'm going to show you exactly how you can do that too. So thank you guys for being here. Happy Monday to you, and welcome. Restreams of this are available on YouTube. If you go to youtube.com/Cardone Solutions. There's a playlist up there called The Nooner. You can see all 37 prior episodes. I'm recording this one, so if you miss this or if the stream gets bad, you can go back and check it later on today, okay? So just start swinging, Ben DeVolder says. It's right. Start swinging kettlebells is what you're talking about, I assume. So today, we're on the Nooner. We're going to be talking about tips that you can use to literally earn your buyer's trust. This is trust in sales, business, and in life. I'm going to break down these 4 tips in detail on how to apply them in sales, business, and in life. They are taken from and based on information in this book. This is Sell or Be Sold. It is Grant Cardone's foundational book. So if you're in sales, if you're in business, or if you're in life, basically if you breathe, you're in sales, okay? So it would help to know how to do that a little bit, wouldn't you agree? So this book lays the foundation for everything you need to know to be successful in selling. This is one of those books that you're going to read it and you're like, man, why didn't I read this sooner? It happens every single time. Okay. So getting a buyer to trust you, getting a prospect to trust you, getting a potential client to trust you. How do you do that effectively? How do you do it in a way that works? What if it's somebody that you're meeting that's new, you know? How do I get somebody that I'm meeting that's brand new in my life? How do I get them to trust me? Okay. So have you ever had that problem, though, where you're talking to a customer, right? Ben, you're in insurance sales. I'm sure this happens frequently, or at least often in the very beginning, especially in the very beginning. You're talking to somebody, and you're like, man, this guy doesn't believe a word I'm saying. I don't think this guy believes me at all. Right? You ever been in a meeting with a potential client, and you're going through your presentation, and you're watching them, and you know in the back of your head, you're like, man, this guy doesn't believe a word I'm saying. There's no way. It's going in one ear and out the other because he doesn't trust me. I don't have his trust yet. So what is it, and whose fault is that? Whose responsibility is that really, right? And we're going to talk about that today. And, the reason this happens more often than not, especially in sales and in business, is there's been a few bad apples out there that kind of kinked this deal for the honest people. You know what I'm saying? So you got to know going into it that this very well may happen. This may be an issue. This may be a challenge for you. So the question is, hey, how do I effectively get somebody to trust me and buy into what I'm saying? Okay. So Grant's got 4 tips. I'm going to list them off for you. Okay. And then we'll break each one down a little bit deeper. Okay. You ready? So, look, and if you're just tuning in and you don't know who Grant Cardone is, that's fine. He's a New York Times best-selling author. He's written 5 books since the economic collapse of 2008. Grant he works with Fortune 500 companies to help increase production, profitability, and customer satisfaction. Okay, so if that's you, if you have a company or a business and you're like, man, how do we increase our customer satisfaction? How do we increase production? How do we raise our profits and stay and not lose people? Right? How do we do that effectively? That's what we do in our company. It's called Cardone Training Technologies. If you want more information on that, feel free to reach out to me. You can get me david@grantcardone.com or 310-777-0352. I can show you some proven ways to increase production 15 to 30% simply by helping you find and handle missed opportunity. Hey, Marco, thanks for being here. So the first 4 things you need to do for earning your buyer's trust. Number 1, take 100% responsibility for it. Number 2, always put it in writing. Number 3, use current third-party data. And then number 4 is you want to make competitive advertising available. Now, before you freak out and kick me off the stream because that lost you, hang out. I'm going to make perfect sense of that statement. Okay? Thanks again for being here. So here's the breakdown. Number 1 is you want to take 100% responsibility for your buyer's trust. So Grant will often reiterate this. He's going to say something like, hey, if the buyer doesn't trust you, it's on you. Okay? Any problem that pops up, any problem, if you take 100% responsibility for it, that is a problem you can solve. Does that make sense? Because it's yours. Okay, if you start playing the blame game, if you start throwing down excuses as to why it's not happening, it's somebody else's fault, you can't fix that. Okay, so in this book, Sell or Be Sold, this one, Grant says, and I quote, "Great salespeople understand the buyer's distrust, accept full responsibility for it, and never take it personally." Okay, so this is, again, sales, business, and in life. So if you're in a selling situation, understand that there may be a possibility that your buyer doesn't trust you. And that's not because of you. It's probably because of somebody else or some bad experience they had, but the distrust it's not there, so you have to take responsibility for it, okay? So, same thing in business and in life. If this is a personal relationship, just know, like let's say you're a guy and you meet a new girl. Possible chance she doesn't trust you right off the bat, right? Vice versa, okay? If you just interact with another human being, there's a lot of distrust in this world, right? So you got to take full responsibility for that person's distrust. Never take it personally because they don't know you yet. Had nothing to do with you. Make sense? Okay. So number 1, take full responsibility for your buyer's trust. Number 2, always put it in writing. So finish this sentence for me. People believe what they see, not what they hear, right? I know you finished it. Right? So we've all heard that, okay? We've also heard, hey, well, the guy down the street said he'd sell it to me for X, right? If you're in sales, right? You ever heard that? Hey, so-and-so, right? If you're in the auto business, hey, Prostitute Motors said they'll do it for X. You know, $3,000 below invoice, right? Well, Circuit City said they'd sell it. You know, this is you're standing at Best Buy. Circuit City guys like, dude, they're not even in business anymore, right? But how often have you heard in business and in sales, hey, the guy down the street, the other company said they can sell it for X. Okay, this he said, she said thing, it's a deal killer. Now, we've got a technique to handle that guy and to handle that objection. If you're in sales, reach out to me and I'll show you a really cool way to handle that. But think about this for a second. Not only is, hey, they said they can do it cheaper, is that a deal killer, but it's a trust killer. Okay? And quite frankly, it's a blight on the reputation of good salespeople all over. Because most likely what they're saying is that they've given some lowball number that there's no way you can do, and they threw it out there just in the attempt to let that customer go out and shop around, right? And then when they go back they're going to change the story. So that is not you, nor do you play that game. So put your offer in writing, because this is the reason you do this, you don't come with the deal down the street. You come with this one, right? And you're worth something, and you're valuable, okay? So always put it in writing. Number 3, use current third-party data. Don't quote a fact or a statistic to a client that was discovered in 1986 before the internet existed. It's not real, okay? So you want to use current third-party data, okay? This is the information age. Remember that, okay? If you're going to quote facts and figures and stats, have stuff to back it up so that you can show people, okay? And if it comes from a third party, it adds validity to it, right? So let's say you sell TVs. Can you show data from Consumer Reports? Absolutely. On why this particular TV is a better buy, right? If you're in real estate, how much third-party data is out there? If you're in the auto industry, how much third-party data is out there? If you're in shoes, even, there's a wealth of third-party data, right? That's Consumer Reports is a great place to go to get credible third-party data about your product. Okay, so use that to put proof in your pudding. So information should be something that you use to your advantage. An informed buyer, and why, okay? And here's why. An informed buyer makes a decision. Okay? A client that doesn't have enough information needs to think about it. They need to talk to somebody else before they can make a decision. They need to shop around. Okay? So by using third-party data, you can quite literally alleviate their desire to think about it, alleviate their desire to talk to somebody else, and their desire to shop. Does that make sense? Right? They don't need to add time to the deal anymore because they've done all their research, because you provided it. And their competition does not provide it. All right? So this brings us to number 4, which, as I mentioned earlier, may be a little controversial, which is to make competitive advertising available. So this may scare a few of you. This may scare some people. If you're like watching this restream on YouTube, you may just skip the video at this point. You're like, all right, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay. You may need to hear that a couple times to think about this. You may not even trust me anymore, right? Kind of sounds crazy. I'm going to make my competition's pricing available to the customer? That's nuts. Okay. Look, showing what your competition is selling for in advertising, why not just walk the guy over to that place and say, hey, here, take him. He's yours. Well, that's not what's happening here, okay? Look, does your competition sell higher or lower than you? Think about this for a second. Your competition, the companies that you're in direct competition, are their prices higher or lower than yours? Does your competition sometimes run ads that are confusing or make promises that most likely they're not going to be able to keep? Do they say things that probably are too good to be true? So, what if, just for this once, just for this moment, instead of a client having to leave and do their due diligence, what if you've already done it for them? What would that say to your buyer? Who does this right now? What company can you think of right off the top of your head that does this now? Progressive Insurance. Right? They not only give you their price, but they'll show you top 3 competitors. And then you decide. This has been huge for them. This is a massive business builder. It works. So why wouldn't you? Right? Look, if you know what your competition's selling it for and you're not afraid of it, and here's why. Because, number 1, you don't come with the deal down the street. You know that your company, and the product is superior. Now, if your company sells the exact same product as your competition, the service, the experience, the quality you deliver to the client is worth more than the better deal down the street. Follow? Okay? And besides, price is a myth. If you give them some love, you help them solve a problem, they're going to hook up with you. Third thing on that is that you got to know how to close the deal. You got to be able to stay in there, get a commitment. Okay, so if you're confident in your ability to sell, close, and that you deliver superior service, then there should be no problem showing them what the competition is doing. Who's done this? I've done it. People are like, you know what, it's a couple bucks less, but I'd rather do the deal with you. Let's roll. Right? Because in this book, what do they say? What does Grant say? The customer will pay more for a great attitude over a good product all day long. And if you haven't read that book, make sure to get a copy. So, is this making sense? Right? Well, which one of these are you going to start incorporating this week? Is it taking 100% responsibility for your buyer's trust? Everybody can do that. Okay. Make sure to start putting your offers in writing. Thank you for the claps and the restreams, everybody. Use current third-party data. And don't be afraid to show what the competition's up to. Okay. So which one of these is having the greatest impact on you? Okay. Tweet me your comments below. If you don't have a copy of Sell or Be Sold, send me an email. I'll send you a link to get a copy of the book. Tomorrow on the Nooner, we're talking presentations. Bill bought it last week. Hey, thank you for that. Congratulations, Bill. That's a great book. It is the foundation book of all that we do. Okay. So, tomorrow, I'm talking presentations, tips on presenting your product to a buyer. We talked today about trust. Tomorrow, we're doing presentations. Not sure what we're going to cover on Wednesday, but I'm open to suggestions. Send me a tweet at davidrbradley.com. This has been episode 38 of The Nooner. Thank you for being here. Appreciate your time. Have a fantastic week. Happy Monday. I'll see you tomorrow.